Hi, 10, Mr. Tapley here to walk you through the Geography CAT, looking at Sections 1, the Human Wellbeing Map, Section 2, the Human Wellbeing Graphs, and Section 3, the Extended Response. So you were introduced to this last week on Thursday. Most of you should have gotten close to completing the Human Wellbeing Map. So using the mapchart.net tool, you were supposed to create a choropleth map of human well-being in Africa. So you needed to go through the HDI data, so that's Human Development Index, livability in these different African countries. They're ranked in order of most livable to lowest human well-being. You needed to assign different colors to different ranges, so 0.8 to 0.6 can be one color. You need to put all that information onto the map, and then at the end, after you've put in all the information, preview, download, take an image, and pop it into this space here. So by the end of section 1, you should have a choropleth map showing human well-being in Africa. It should have bolts on it, so border, orientation, legend, total, scale, source. Just like with the dev, a bit difficult to actually put a scale on this map because we've each got a different device size and the map is going to be a different size, so don't stress about the scale, but everything else can be included in the bolts checklist. After you've done the map, you needed to write a PQE paragraph summarizing the data in that map. So you need to look at the different colors, the different ranges of human well-being in Africa, and tell me what is the pattern. So one sentence describing how human well-being changes or trends throughout Africa. So maybe the high is up here in the north, maybe low is down south, maybe high is in the west, whatever the location is, whatever the pattern is, you need to write that down. Q for quantify, so you need to give me examples. So for example, Algeria has, and then you give me the name and also their number. So names and numbers for Q, and then E is the exception. So you find one country that doesn't follow your pattern. So if the pattern is that a lot of the human well-being high nations are in the north, but for whatever reason Tunisia is one of the lowest, then you would say the exception to this pattern is Tunisia. They have an HDI of blah, and they're not in the right location. Ironically, they're actually one of the best ones. Anyway, so that's section 1. So most of you guys got up to the PQE paragraph on Thursday, which is a good effort. Today you need to finish that off and start looking at part 2. So the aim for part 2, the aim for this lesson, is to start completing these human well-being graphs. So using the Gapminder tool, which we have used in the past, you guys are going to look at the following well-being indicators and compare how they are related. So what is the connection between life expectancy or health and income and wealth? What is the connection between extreme poverty, so people who are living off $3.20 a day, versus child mortality? What is the connection between the amount of children that a woman has versus her literacy, her education? So you're going to find those 3 graphs using Gapminder tools. So I've already put this one together, but all you need to do to find the other 2 is play around with this little title down here. So I'm looking at income. One of them is child mortality. So I'd click through here. You can scroll through the different sections. Some of them are just written there, or I could literally type in child mortality, if I spelled it right, and it will show up. And then once you've got those 3 graphs, what you need to do, write a PQE paragraph. So write a short summary paragraph for each well-being graph using the PQE template. So you should identify the pattern. So how is income and life expectancy connected? So as income increases, as we move from left to right on the graph, what happens to life expectancy? Does it go up? Does it go down? Does it not really change at all? And then for Q, you'd say, well, if the pattern is that it's increasing, you'd want to get one of the high countries and one of the low countries. So pattern increasing, for example, your Q. United States has an income of 53.2K, 78.8. Side note, if you're on an iPad, instead of hovering over the bubble to get those specific numbers, you click on the circle, and then you click on the title, and that will give you the numbers on an iPad. I also did notice that yesterday when people were trying to take their map photo or screenshots, they were having a lot of difficulty on iPads. So my recommendation is for iPad Crew, instead of previewing and downloading the map, you might just have to take a screenshot, take a photo of your map and your map legend, importantly, and then add that in. Anyway, So P, Q, E, we're up to E for exception. So for the exceptions in these graphs, it's really easier to identify because you're just really looking for the circles on your graph that are super far off the rest of them. So for example, if I was looking at this one, everything's in a nice little line. However, this little dude is just chilling over here for no reason. Lesotho. It sounds like a made-up country. Eswatini. I do know where that is. Equatorial Guinea. So yeah, that's what you're looking at for section 2, guys. You're doing the graphs and then the PQEs. The other thing to note is that if you play around with this slider, you can actually change the year level. The default setting for this one is 2019. For this one, again, 2018. So you'll notice that some of the year levels are different because we just don't have the data for 2019, 2020 yet. You'll also notice that, this is a good example, we don't have much data for this year. So what I did before I put on this video was I dragged it down to 2015. And that gives you a better indicator, better ability to find the pattern. So I'm going to write into the cat file to get the data for 2015, just so you can actually see the pattern and you can see some of these African countries, the blue countries there. I'm only going to explain sections 1 and 2, guys. Sections 3 is an extended response, and we'll look at that in our double period on Tuesday. But again, you've got the entire lesson today, you've got the entire double period on Tuesday, and then if we really need, we can use that Thursday lesson in the final week of classes to get this done. But I'm hoping that we can have a bit of fun and just relax in that final lesson, but we'll see. But yeah, if you have any questions or concerns, please let me know. Throw me an email or speak to me in staff room 4 next to the MU14. I'm right here right now. And yeah, I hope you guys are feeling well. Cheers.